Thank you all the participants to join in large numbers. I think many are in queue to join and they will join very soon. First of all, thank you, Parth Patel sir, for sparing time in giving his expert advice on the subject. This is a virtual meet and tally, which is very important for today's professionals. And EIRC is lucky to have this proposal for having a virtual meeting after long, um, because we didn't have, I already told you the reasons for not having this virtual meet regularly. But however, sparingly we used to carry out. But after long, we are having the virtual meet. And the topic of today's thing is connected GST experience with TallyPrime 5.0. So this is a topic while a lot of expertise would be disseminated by the learned speaker. Before that, I would like to have a brief introduction of the speaker. The CA Parth Patel is the speaker of today's topic and who is a chartered accountant and with a strong technological background, currently serving as the Assistant General Manager, Product Excellence at Tally Solutions Private Limited. The professional leads initiatives to enhance product visibility and add value in product usage by customers for Western India. He has over 15 years of experience in this domain, and he will be making us wise by his expert deliberation. Before I hand over to the speaker, my compliments and gratitude to Ms. Komal Lahati, who has taken all the pain in organizing such a program in association with the EIRC of ICAI. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, sir, for your support. Thank you.
And over to Speaker, sir, for your deliberation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Amit Paul, sir, for... yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Amit Paul, sir, for this wonderful introduction. And so we'll start with the session without waiting any further. So please confirm whether my screen is visible or not, so that we can start straight away.
Yes, the tally screen is visible.
Okay. Thank you so much for confirming. So today's topic, as Amit sir has mentioned, it's a connected GST experience with the TallyPrime. So TallyPrime in the month of September has come out with a latest upgrade of a TallyPrime 5.0 with the objective of making the GST compliance journey very smooth and integrated within the TallyPrime. So without going further, let's understand and experience the same in the product itself. So this is the screen which everyone is familiar with, I hope. So for filing GST, we usually go to the GST reports, right? So let's go to a GST reports. So here we'll go to display more reports, then statutory, and then we'll get inside to the GST reports. So here you'll see that the first GST return that we file for the month is GSTR1. That's for the sales return. So we'll click on the GSTR1, right? So once we go on the screen, you will see a little bit difference over the screen. The first one is it includes all the registration. Why it includes all the registration? Because in the newer version, TallyPrime also comes with the multi-GST and compliance within the single company, within the single data. So that's why it mentions all registration. Let's say we want to file a return for particular company, we will press F3 and select particular company. Let's say Tamil Nadu registration, right? You can also see a line in blue color which mentions a last online GST activity. So yes, we can connect this TallyPrime 5.0 version with the GST portal, and whenever we have last connected uh, with this portal for this particular GSTN, the GSTN that is mentioned here, that last activity will get logged over here, right? So this is how we can, connect with a particular company data with the GST portal, right? Now going further, so when we file a GST return, the first step we do is we upload GST R1 data to our GST portal. To do so, we have that option available here in the exchange menu. So in exchange menu, you can see the second option, that is upload GST return. So we click on the upload GST return, and here you can see the relevant data with respect to a particular GST is available. Here we can see the data with respect to all GST, and we can filter it out here from F3 and specifying a period. So here in this case, we are filing for a monthly return for this particular company. So all the records with respect to that particular GSTR1 will be available here. Now simply what we need to do to upload here. So simply you can see another send button is there. We can click on the send button. The moment we click here, it will ask us a GST login. So we need to connect this data to the GST portal using OTP. So for this particular GSTN number, we already have mentioned this username. In case we haven't mentioned this, on the right hand side, that option is available, update GST username. This is the same username which we use to log in into our portal. So we can mention here that GST username and click on the send OTP. Once we click on the send OTP, OTP which is registered mobile number and an email ID for this particular GSTN will receive that OTP, and the same OTP will need to mention here. Once we provide this OTP, Tally will get connected to GST portal, and the data which is available here on the screen will get uploaded onto the GST portal. So here on the screen, you can see that the upload is successful to GST portal inside Tally. See, the screen is now blank. Why it is blank? Because Tally has inherent capability to understand and to segregate what all transactions are uploaded, what all transactions are not uploaded. So here you
sorry
can
to interrupt you, sir. Some participants are asking that to be please louder.
Okay, sure. So is that more clear, sir? Now?
Participants may chat and give their input.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
please confirm whether it is more clear in terms of voice so that we can proceed ahead.
it's okay, sir. You can proceed.
Yes, thank you so much for confirming. Right, so here, as in when we have uploaded on the screen, you can see that there are 0 transactions which are pending for upload. That means at the database level, it tracks that the transactions which are uploaded from TallyPrime are being tracked, those are uploaded. Let's say we got the data and we want to know which all are uploaded. On the right hand side, the button is there, F8 include uploaded. I want to know which all are the transactions that are uploaded. The moment I press F8, I'll get the details of all the transactions which are uploaded. Again, if I press the same button, which is F8 exclude uploaded, what all are uploaded, that will not be available on the screen. So before uploading and after uploading, you can keep a track of which all are the transactions that are uploaded and not uploaded. Right. So these are all the transactions which we have already uploaded. Now, after we upload the transactions, we go on to the portal and verify all the transactions which are there in my books of accounts, whether those are reflecting in GST portal or not. Right. To do the same, we have another option in TallyPrime, that is under the exchange menu, file GSTR1. So let's go to file GSTR1. So on the screen, we'll change the period as April 24 because that's the period for which we have uploaded the data. Once we change the period, TallyPrime will change the data in the GSTR1 summary format. This is the same format of GSTR1 in which the summary gets generated and downloaded from the portal. And we view this summary and verify all the sections of that summary matches with the books of accounts. So the similar process is done inside TallyPrime 5.0. So we'll proceed to file GSTR1. We'll click on the send button. Once we click on the send button, you can see there are 3-step process which has been carried out on the screen. What that process suggests? So in this 3-step process, the GST portal gets connected. In GSTR1 for the requisite period that we have mentioned here, what all are the transactions that are uploaded successfully and forming part of GSTR1 summary will get downloaded from GST portal to the TallyPrime. So this is the summary that TallyPrime has downloaded from GST portal from GSTR1 before filing it. And after that, whether this summary section wise matches with the summary in my books of accounts, that will be automatically matched here. So here you can see that this blue color data is a summary which is fetched from the GST portal based on our own GSTR1 upload. If this summary is matching with our GSTR1 report, you can see the message on the screen. The downloaded summary is matching the summary in your books. So if the summary is matching, then TallyPrime will reflect that this summary is matching with summary in your books. If this summary does not match, or if there is a mismatch in any of the section of this summary, TallyPrime will also have a different message that downloaded summary is not matching the summary in your books. So that way we can ensure ourselves that whatever is present in my books of accounts in GSTR1 report, whether it is matching with the portal at GSTR1 or not before filing GSTR1. So this process is before filing GSTR1. Once we are sure that this is matching, then we can go on continue filing. We'll click on the continue filing. So here we will need to specify who is the authorized signatory for filing this return. So in this case, this is a proprietor. So we'll mention the PAN number of this proprietor. Once we specify that for filing GSTR1, we'll receive an OTP, right, on the mobile number and email ID mentioned in the registered or authorized signatory. We'll provide the same OTP here. So once we provide the OTP, the GSTR1 gets filed, and after GSTR1 gets filed, the summary as well as acknowledgement reference number, that is called ERN number, along with the ERN date gets filed, and the status of this return is automatically changed to filed. Now this will also reflect within the GSTR1 report as well. So here, let's select Tamil Nadu and we again go to April month. So for the month of April, you can see the last online GST activity is reflecting here, as well as status of the GSTR1 is filed along with ERN number, along with ERN date. So this is how a GSTR1 can be easily filed with the help of TallyPrime 5.0. Now coming on to the another type of GSTR1 filing, wherein a particular GST is covered within the QRMP scheme. They are filing GSTR1 quarterly, but they are uploading B2B invoices on a monthly basis. So to showcase that, let's change the GST registration. So here we have changed the GST registration as a Maharashtra registration. Here in this case, it is a quarterly return filing. From where we can define this quarterly return filing? So to understand that and to correlate it with the GST return portal filing patterns, we can click on F11. We'll select enable GST. Again, we'll go to Maharashtra. So here we specify that particular GST number and other details, correct? In this screen, an option called periodicity of GSTR1, we have selected quarterly. So based on the periodicity of GSTR1 that we have selected here as quarterly, TallyPrime 5.0 will automatically populate tables based on the QRMP behavior that is prevalent on the portal. So for quarterly, for the first and second month of the quarter, it will only generate B2B transactions, and for the whole quarter, it will generate entire GSTR1 return. If I select monthly here, it will populate all the tables based on the monthly GSTR1 format at the GST portal. So we'll keep it quarterly as it is. In this case, we can save the GST username here, as well as we can define the mode of filing. So we have used EVC, that is OTP, for filing GSTR1. In case a particular client is having a digital signature as a filing mode, then you can also select DSC, and digital signature utility will load automatically once we are onto the filing page, right? So coming back to this Maharashtra registration. So in Maharashtra registration, let's upload the GSTR1 return. So again, we'll go to exchange menu, upload GST returns. In upload GST returns, we have specified here date as April to April. That is just for 1 month, right? You can see here only B2B transactions are appearing. There is no HSN summary, no document summary, because this is exactly the same information which GST portal asks. Now we'll click on the send, and this has been uploaded successfully, right? Now we'll change the period as May 24, May 24. So you can see for the second month of the quarter, only B2B transactions are there, right? Let's say we change the period from May to June, then only we'll have B2B transactions. Now let's say we change the period to April 24 to June 24. We'll select the entire quarter. So for the entire quarter, all the relevant information will be available, including B2C transactions, HSN summary, and document summary. Here we have already uploaded April 24 month transactions, correct? So if we want to know that which all are the transactions that are uploaded, we can use the same button here, F8. So as we have pressed the same button, you can see there is no transaction for the month of April appearing on the screen, because those are all uploaded by us, right? Now going a step further in details with respect to upload behavior, we can also upload item by item on this particular version. So let's say I want to upload only particular May month transactions. So I'll select those transactions, click on the send, and only those transactions which we have selected will be uploaded. You can see those transactions that are uploaded have been automatically removed from this screen. Let's say I want to upload only B2C summary at this moment and check out whether it is uploaded or not. I'll select those two rows and click on the send button, and those summaries got uploaded. You can see that B2C summaries for 2 rates are not visible. I want to upload HSN summary. I can click on HSN summary, click the send button, and upload the HSN summary, right? So as a chartered accountant, I have absolute control over what has been uploaded, what has not been uploaded. If I want to upload a particular section or a particular category or invoice wise or a bill wise, I have all the flexibility and options to do so in terms of uploading my GSTR1 to GST portal. Let's say we want to upload everything. We'll click on Control and Spacebar and click on the send button, and all the transactions get uploaded for this particular quarterly GSTR1. So in terms of GSTR1 upload, whether it's a monthly case or a QRMP case, this will be uploaded in a smooth and seamless manner. So this is how this gets uploaded onto the GSTR1. So once we are through with the GSTR1 upload for a monthly and quarterly, then from 14th onwards, we all perform the GST reconciliation for a particular month, right? So that GST reconciliation is also supported inside TallyPrime in version 5.0. So for performing GST reconciliation, we already have accounting data inside Tally. What we need to do is just fetch the GST returns inside our TallyPrime so that within the TallyPrime itself, we can have both the data, that is a GST data, as well as the accounting data, and comparison as well as matching process can be done inside TallyPrime. How to do that? Let's have a quick walkthrough. So we'll again go to Exchange menu. Here, after the upload GST return, we have option of download GST return. We'll click on the download GST return. So once we click on the download GST return, we will have all the options and all the returns which are available for download. So in version 5.0, we have GSTR1, GSTR2A, GSTR2B, and GSTR3B as the returns which we can download and save that returns data inside TallyPrime. So we'll go to configure. We can select here registration. If we want to download for all registration, that is also possible. But for the simplicity, let's take up only one registration. We can select which reconciliation we want to perform. Let's say I just want to download 2B and reconcile only 2B. I can select only one return. If I want to select multiple, I can select multiple. But let's say if I can select all returns, I can download all returns together. Now coming back to return period. So return period. So there is no limitation in the return period for which period you want to download GST returns inside TallyPrime. It is absolutely your choice, your preference, whether you want to download this GST return for 1 month, 2 months, or a quarter, or 1 year, 2 year. Absolutely you decide depending on the data that you are having for which period you want to reconcile inside Tally. Tally will download basis the period that is mentioned here. So we'll keep it 2 months period here. So now let's download the GSTR1, 2A, 2B, and 3B together inside this company. So once we have started downloading, you can see on the screen the message reads downloading and reconciling data. So once we start downloading the data, TallyPrime essentially reconciles the data in the backend basis the parameters of books of accounts as well as the GST portal. So let's say we have a bill which has the common GSTN, a bill number is matching, a taxable value is matching, or a tax amount is matching, that is GST, SGST, IGST. That bill will be classified as automatically reconciled. So now the download is complete. Let's check out what is the exact impact of this GST returns download inside TallyPrime. So we have downloaded 1, 2A, 2B, 3B. We'll go to GSTR1 Reco. You can see on reconciliation screen, the data is visible in 2 colors. One is black and another one is blue. I'm hovering my cursor, but I cannot get my cursor onto the blue data. So this blue data is the data which is fetched from the portal. It is a GST return data, and as a user I cannot go to my GST return data, because here the objective of viewing this GST return data with accounting data is to compare and match. So one will not be able to delete the data. So we can compare here and see the matching party wise, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Let's say we have given a period here as April and June. We had downloaded for 2 months. Let's make it April to May. So I can quickly see the matching for 2 months. Let's say I want to view the matching for a particular month. Let's say April to April. So for 1 month, I can see the comparison. We had downloaded for the month of Tamil Nadu, right? So in my GST portal, I have 11 invoices that are uploaded, but in my books of accounts, there are 12 invoices. So there is some mismatch. If I go inside this and press F5, I can see which all is not matching, right? And accordingly, I can check and rectify the differences. Let's go on to GSTR two-way reconciliation. So in GSTR two-way reconciliation, we'll select the period as April to May 24. You can see here, basis that period, we can view the comparison of GST returns in GSTR two-way with our own tally data. We can view party-wise status as well as the category-wise status. Those which are reconciled will be available on the down. Those which needs our action will be available on the top of the screen, right? Now coming on to the GSTR 3B. So there is no option of GSTR 3B reconciliation in the report itself, but GSTR 3B reconciliation can be seen inside GSTR 3B report itself. So we'll click on the GSTR 3B report and we'll select period as April to April 24. Now here, this is a pure books of accounts data. To view the comparison inside this report, we have enabled this under basis of values. So in basis of values, once we click here and in the second option, which is method of showing values from portal, we want to view the comparison of books versus portal inside GSTR 3B report. We'll select the second option as yes. And you can see once we did this, we can view the data in two colors, category wise, so that we can see which section is reconciled, which section is not reconciled. GSTR 3B is a summary return. So TallyPrime fetches the summary figures, total figures, and reconciles it with the total figures available within the GSTR 3B report, right? So we have seen GSTR 1 RICO, GSTR 2A RICO, and 3B RICO. Now moving on to the statutory reconciliation, that is a GSTR 2B reconciliation. So let's go on to the GSTR 2B reconciliation and select the period as August, and we'll check the Karnataka registration. So here, let's get inside this B2B invoices. These are all the invoices for which we claim ITC. So before going this at a transaction level, I can simply specify here and understand which all parties are reconciled, which all parties are not reconciled. So here we have 3 parties and all are unreconciled. If any party is reconciled, that will by default go down. What all is unreconciled will be available on the top of the screen. Okay. So now, as a chartered accountant, what action we need to do to reconcile this? So we'll click on F5. Once we click on the F5, we'll have this list as a category wise, that which transactions have a mismatch, which transactions are only available in books, and which transactions are only available on the portal. Right. So let's say first we rectify the mismatches. What is the reason for mismatch for KLM? Let's try to find out. The taxable amount matches, tax amount matches, but invoice amount doesn't match. What can be the difference of this? The difference is due to probably a TDS or maybe transportation or any other item which doesn't have any tax impact. So everything matches, but TDS amount is making the invoice amount different with the invoice amount on the portal. So this all should reconcile automatically. Now to support this reconciliation automatically, TallyPrime 5.0 has come up with certain one-time configuration inside GST registration. So on this screen, we will press F11 and go on to GST registration and Karnataka. You can see on the right-hand side of the section that there is a new section called reconciliation configuration. So there are certain configuration, which is a one-time configuration that we can do it here inside our data so that this configuration is applicable from a specified date. So let's say we had a difference in invoice amount. So second last option that we should chase here, that is ignore difference in invoice amount, will effective date. Now why it is asking effective date? Because it is possible that we are doing reconciliation only for a specific month or from a specific quarter or for the whole year, or it is possible that we can reconcile for entire 2 years or 3 years. So if we want this configuration to be effected from a past date, we can specify that date here, that please apply this configuration from 1st of April 24, so that what all are the transactions that are present in my books of accounts and I'm fetching GST returns data, those transactions having TDS differences or any other differences in invoice amount will be reconciled automatically, and we need not reconcile those differences one by one. So once we apply this configuration, you can see on the screen, two transactions of KLM Limited were initially reflecting in mismatch, now are automatically reconciled. There can be a second reason for mismatch. That is a common one, and that's a round off. Here on the Ohm's Tel Traders, you can see in both the bills, there is a round off difference in IGST. Now, in the similar manner, we reconcile KLM Limited. We have the similar configuration available in F11. So we will go inside this F11, and here in the last option of reconciliation configuration, there is a configuration for ignoring difference in books and portal values. We'll mark it as yes. Once we mark it as yes, TallyPrime will ask which is the tolerance value to ignore in terms of round off. So here we can specify our own tolerance value. That is a round off value, maybe 1 rupee or a 2 rupee. Let's say we'll give it 2 rupee. Once we specify, it will also ask effective date. If we are doing reconciliation for past 1 year or past 2 years, we can give that specific date retrospectively, and all the rest transactions for the past month will also get reconciled automatically. So once we do this, it will change the status. Accordingly, you can see now 2 other transactions of Ohm's Tel Traders are reconciled here. Right? These are automatically reconciled now. Now, there are 2 more transactions which are left in available online books. So what is the exact reason for having a mismatch? For this, can anyone type it in chat box or say something on that? Because we can see Rahul stores here on the screen as well as there are 2 bills which is showing here as available online portal. Yes, sir. So voucher number is not matching. So voucher number is not matching. What is the difference? Let's enable doc number from F12. So we have written as doc number 8845, but the GST portal is mentioning the full invoice number, that is RT 88452324. But you have mentioned only few numbers within that bill. So now there are only two bills in my screen, but it is possible that whenever you will reconcile for your clients, you will have the bills for the entire year or 6 months or a 2 year, whichever period you choose to reconcile, right? So how to resolve these differences very quickly without spending much time? So for that, TallyPrime has given one magnificent functionality. So we'll go back and we'll check those invoices in available only in books section. We will click on the available only in books. So you can see here those two bills are reflecting here. Again, we will ask TallyPrime to find the potential matches for these two bills from the GST returns that TallyPrime has already downloaded and available in the Tally data. So we'll click on the F12. On F12, there is a third last option called show potential matches between books and portal. We'll mark it as yes. The moment we mark it as yes, TallyPrime will reflect here whether there is any potential matches between the data fetched from the portal and the bills available in books of accounts. Here everything is matching on different values. The only mismatch is document number. So bill number doesn't match. The rest everything matches. Now to reconcile this, we can select all the bills together by control spacebar, and a new option called copy doc number and date from portal to a voucher is available. So we'll click on this. Once we click on this option, copy the doc number and doc date from portal to the books. It will replace bill number and the bill date inside the transactions. Once it replaces, all the parameters automatically matches, and once all the parameters automatically matches, it will reconcile all the transactions. So you can see here all the transactions that are in the books of accounts are already reconciled. Now there are 3 transactions in portal. So there can be 2 possibilities for this particular set of transactions. The first possibility is these are the bills which do not pertain to our business. Somebody has by mistake uploaded with our GST number. So in this scenario, we can exclude this 3 records from this GSTR to be reconciliation. So we'll go to available only on portal section here. For this, we can select here those 3 bills, and on the right hand side, we can exclude these 3 bills using set GST status and exclude it. So once we exclude this, it doesn't get deleted from the tally data. It will not get deleted. You can see here on the GSTR2B itself that these 3 transactions were excluded while reconciling GSTR2B. Now, there can be a question that these 3 bills were not with us when we reconcile GSTR2B, but after 1 month, any one of 3 bills have come up, and whatever data you have got after 1 or 2 months, any of these 3 bills have been entered inside this tally data, which were excluded in the last month. So not to worry on that part. Even though this is excluded from TallyPrime itself, whenever somebody is trying to enter any one of 3 bills, Tally will remember this and will auto reconcile in that particular month. So let's say this August bill is entered in the month of October. In the month of October, this will get reconciled automatically. So now our reconciliation is over. Everything is reconciled. And once we reconcile, then whatever is the reconciled ITC, we upload it to the GST portal. To do the same, we have the same functionality of uploading GSTR3B inside TallyPrime 5.0, we'll click on exchange menu, and in exchange menu, we'll click on upload GST return. In upload GST return, we have GSTR 3B option. Here we'll click on the GSTR 3B and ITC amount will be uploaded and replaced to the GST portal because the outward liability is auto-populated from the GSTR one itself. So we'll click on the send here and this will connect with my Karnataka registration. So to connect that, we'll have a one-time OTP. And once we provide an OTP, this reconciled ITC will get uploaded onto the GSTR 3B in the relevant ITC section. Post this, challan generation and challan payment can be done on the GST portal, and subsequently it can be filed over the GST portal itself. So all the activities right from GSTR1 upload to ascertaining the ITC available and uploading and replacing that particular ITC amount in GSTR 3B for a particular month, that can be done inside TallyPrime. Now here, there is one standard question that we can have. In this case, we had all the entries in our books of accounts which are reconciled. But in practical world, there can be cases wherein out of 6 bills, a particular bill has not been uploaded by a counterparty. Now, in this case, we will need to carry forward that particular bill and we will need to hold that ITC for the next month, that is a upcoming or subsequent month. So how to handle that particular situation inside TallyPrime? To understand that, let's understand that out of all the bills, there is one bill which is remaining unreconciled. So let's say a Rahul stores bill. Let's mark it as unreconciled for the purpose of understanding this situation. So we'll click on the set GST status and we'll mark it as mismatched. Right now, this bill is mismatched. Now, we haven't got the ITC of this bill. This bill is not uploaded by a supplier. Let's assume this for a moment. So what we'll need to do, we will need to transfer the ITC of this particular bill to a next month. So this bill is for the month of August. Now this should go to September. So we'll click on this bill and here a new option is available called set effective date. So we'll click on the set effective date, that is a GST return effective date. We can shift the ITC of this particular bill to the next month GSTR 2B. So here we'll mark it as September 24. For the month of 3B also we'll mark it as September 24. So the moment we mark this, this will get transferred in the month of September. We are in the month of August in 2B reconciliation. Let's go back and change the period of 2B. So we'll change the period as September 24. So in September 24, the moment we are in this month, you can see there is one table which is appearing on the screen. This table is a breakup of bills within the current period and other periods. That is for the past periods, right? If we go back to August month, this table will not be there. Why it won't be there? Let's go back and check it again. August to August 24. Here that table is not there because all the bills inside this pertains to August month only. There is no bill which is for the past period. But here, if we go to September month, 2B reconciliation, you can see the table is appearing. So this is the first indication that in this particular 2B reconciliation, there are quite a few bills which pertains to previous period. We'll go inside this and we can check here that this bill is for the month of August. The accounting date doesn't change here. What changes is GST return effective date. So this way, balance sheet P&L will be true in any situation, and the same bill will be available for reconciliation for the period of September 24 GSTR 2B. right? So this is the way we can shift input tax credit in the next month whenever there is an ITC which is not uploaded by a counterparty or a supplier. So this will create the life of tracking ITC on hold very easy and will not to manage offline within the multiple sheets. So this is how we can keep a track of GSTR to-be reconciliation inside TallyPrime. So this is enhancement with respect to GST reconciliation. Now, what is the added advantage of performing GST reconciliation for your clients? Let's say you are doing GST reconciliation inside TallyPrime. Now, to what level that GST reconciliation impacts in your accounting data, right? To understand that, let's go to one ledger outstanding. So from go to button, let's go to ledger. So we'll select any ledgers. Let's say we select this party, that is home traders. So whenever we want to settle this particular account, we need to pay the closing balance as the total amount which is payable for this particular party. But since I am already reconciling my GST data, I have some added information at the ledger level, at the invoice level for this particular outstanding. So on the right hand side, there is a new button called Ledger Vouchers GST. The moment I click here, you will have certain new columns appearing on this ledger. So once we reconcile inside TallyPrime, we can view here which are the transactions that are reconciled. So this purchase is reconciled. This is all reconciled. So these are the reconciled purchases for which ITC we have already claimed. These are only available in books. These are a mismatch. And there is another column called difference in tax amount. Let's say there is a difference of 480 rupees. So what is the reason of exact difference? We can select this particular bill and click on F7 GST info. We click on the F7 GST info for this particular bill. We can see the comparable in our books of accounts with the GST portal for that particular invoice. So the bill that we have accounted here says that the GST amount is 6480, but the bill amount which is uploaded by the counterparty, that is a supplier, is reflecting only 6,000. So 480 is the shortfall in the ITC that they have uploaded on the GST portal. So we can know this shortfall and excess itself here on the same screen. We need not go inside particular invoice or a bill. Let's say there is a difference of 3,600. We'll click this and click on the GST info. Amount on portal, the value is missing. That means this bill is only available in books and this is not uploaded by the counterparty. So this way we can view the ITC at risk right from the ledger outstanding itself. We can also have that flexibility to choose which amount we should pay, whether I should pay a total amount to settle the dues, that is 1,22,720, or this is the amount of GST which is yet not uploaded by a counterparty. So should I settle for the 1,19,200 and keep 3,520 rupees on the hold while settling the bill or settling the ledger? This flexibility and additional information is now available inside TallyPrime 5. This will make the payments very smooth, and this will give flexibility to your clients on a real-time basis for the GST amount, whether they should hold it or not based on their relationship with the parties. Now the similar we can experience for the receivables, because if we can keep someone's payment on hold basis the information available. We are also reconciling GSTR1 inside TallyPrime 5.0. So we can also have that added information for following up on the receivables part. So let's say we go to the bills receivable. So here in bills receivable, we can view the same amount of information from bills receivable. These are the amounts which I need to receive from my parties. These are outstanding amount. From this, I can make it party wise by pressing F8. So there are two parties from which I need to receive money. I can have my follow-ups very stronger based on this. Let's say these two bills are reconciled. So your clients can have a stronger follow-up based on this reconciled because these are already uploaded and the counterparty will have enjoyed the ITC based on the reconciled status. Let's say if I want to chase a follow-up for this particular bill, that is a 51,200. This is yet not uploaded by us, so we cannot have a strong follow-up. So this piece of information in TallyPrime 5.0 will enhance and provide more clarity or a real-time clarity for making receivable follow-ups, and it will make those follow-ups very, very strong and relevant on a real-time information. So this is how the reconciliation can be performed and the benefit of reconciliation inside TallyPrime and added advantage of ITC at risk. Now, what is the biggest advantage for professionals like us? The biggest advantage is once we perform a GST reconciliation and once we close this tally data, this GST return data resides inside TallyPrime data. So whenever I open this tally data after 6 months or after 1 year, I get my accounting data, business data, and my reconciliation data inside TallyPrime. So I need not find the reconciliation data separately. If I have a notice or certain additional information or a clarification which I need to submit with respect to GST return at a later stage. So my tally data is also my reconciliation data, and I can view the reconciliation on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a half yearly basis, or on a yearly basis, just by click of a button, just by changing the period. I need not consolidate my sheets to view the reconciliation on an annual basis or a quarterly basis, right? So that's an added advantage in terms of record retention and analyzing the reconciliation on an annual basis. So we have seen the connected experience with respect to GST. So Amit sir, can we take up certain questions before we move ahead to the next topic? Can you help me with the question if we have any questions on the chat or Q&A? Okay, fair enough. I think there is no question. Let's move ahead with the next set of enhancement, which makes this TallyPrime 5.0 truly connected way of working. So let's try to create a particular master. So let's say we create a particular ledger, right? Okay, so let's create a particular ledger. So let's say we are creating a ledger. So how we'll create a ledger? Let's say we are creating a ledger for a party. We'll select the name, then we'll select the particular type of accounts, that is category. and then we'll go ahead with the address. So these all are the information which is manually put down by all the users, and we consume this information basis their manual efforts. Now, let's understand there is another way of creating a party just by providing a GST number. So on the right hand side, you can see there is one new option called fetch details using GSTN. We can click on this option and simply we need to put the GST number. So request anyone from the audience, if you can just put down any GST number that you have on the chat, we can keep that and we can create a ledger based on that GST number. Yes, request anyone to provide one GST number. Yes, thank you so much. So we got two GSTN. Let's copy this. So based on the GSTN that you provided, this is the information that is available on the GSTN portal. TallyPrime can fetch those details real-time basis, and it can populate this details and automatically copy and paste on the relevant tally fields. So here on this particular screen, you can see the information as per portal is visible, and same is auto copied on the fields available in the TallyPrime. What is additional information that we can view for this particular GSTN? On the right hand side, there is an option called filing history. We can click on the filing history and we can see that what is the e-invoice status of this particular party, what is the date of registration. We can also view the last 6 months filing history, basis which we can define what is the compliance behavior of a particular party. Let's check out another GSTN that we got. So for another GSTN, oh, this belongs to Reliance Industries, right? So we can get the details for this particular company. We can click on the filing history and see the filing history for this particular company, right? You can go back. Now, if we want to create a party from this, simply we need to press Ctrl A. The moment we press Ctrl A, this gets copied and we can create a party instant. So this is how we can create a particular party using this create option. Let's say we have more than one ledgers or parties that we need to create. We can use go to button and type bulk. So bulk party creation using GSTN is also available. You can copy and paste individual GSTN, as well as there is an option to fetch those GST number from Excel sheet. So let's say we have maintained an Excel sheet of the GSTNs. We can fetch those GST numbers from the Excel sheet that is available in our system and can create the ledgers for all the parties in one go. So this is how we can create a ledgers using GSTN. So this is just an advantage at the ledger creation. Now let's go to another advantage at the GSTR filing level, right? So let's say we go to GSTR1 filing. In GSTR1, we'll select the whole year. Now in GSTR1, there can be a situation wherein any of the GSTN can be wrong in this particular data. So we come to know about this situation when we upload this GSTR1 onto the portal and we get that particular error from the portal itself, right? Now, there is another option in TallyPrime 5.0 that before we upload our GSTR1 data, we can validate whether the GSTA numbers which is covered within this particular GSTR1 is valid or not. So on the right hand side, there is new button called Validate Party GSTN F6. We can click on this F6, and here the same button is available. Fetch details using GSTN. TallyPrime will fetch the details on a real-time basis. Once the details are fetched, it will show up here which GSTN is valid, which GSTN is not valid. If some GSTN is cancelled, it will marked as cancelled in the red. Here, particular information is not found for the second one, fourth one, and the sixth one. So this 3 GSTN are incorrect and 1 GSTN is cancelled. So before we file GSTR1, we can real-time validate those GSTN numbers so that the GSTN related errors which we encounter while uploading on the portal, after uploading on the portal, can be easily avoided at this stage itself. So this is an advantage of validating GST using TallyPrime 5.0 at the GST return filing level. Now, this GST validation can also help you get the clean data in terms of transactions. So let's say you are getting data on a monthly basis, and there is no validation while creating those transactions. So this GSTN validation is also available at the transactions level. We'll go to a particular transactions. Let's say we are creating a purchase transaction here, and we are selecting a party called Sunflower Synergy. So the moment I go ahead, here I have the same option called fetch details using GSTN. So the moment I click here and exchange the information, I can view the status of this particular GSTN before entering this purchase transactions. So this will help me to understand before creating a transaction that this particular GSTN is cancelled, is in the state of cancelled, and we need to cross check with this particular party about this purchase before going ahead, because we are not likely to get ITC for this particular purchase bill, right? Even on this screen, we can view the filing history. We can click here on the filing history and can see, oh, there is no filing history. This has been cancelled, right? So we can check with this particular party that this is cancelled and the further action that we should take, that will be evident before creating a transaction itself. So this will help real-time validation for a particular party. Let's say we are creating a sales invoice. Your clients are creating a sales invoice. When they are creating a sales invoice, before they are creating a sales invoice, they can verify whether the party for which they are creating an invoice are valid or not. Before creating an invoice, they can validate here itself that yes, whatever is there in their tally data, what is all comparable information in the GST portal. They can also copy the details. Let's say they have maintained their all the masters in the previous versions, right? Now here the click on copy details, can copy details on the both the fields. Let's say on the both the fields, so we can copy those details which is there in the GST portal into our transactions, so that our information which is created in the transaction is matching with the real-time information available on the GST portal. So this will help your office to get the accurate information. The information which is available in the transaction is exactly the same as available in the GST portal. Let's say we are dispatching goods, or let's say we are receiving goods from a particular party. So let's say we are receiving goods. When we receive the goods, at that time also we have that option whether we are receiving goods from a party for which the GSTN is active or not. we are sending goods to a party, let's say we are sending goods to a party and we need to create a e-way bill, right? So in this case, before sending goods to this particular party or before generating an e-way bill, we can verify whether this particular party is active or not, so that we do not get errors. So here you can see that this particular party, this GST number is wrong. So if I create an invoice without validating GST information, I'll come to know about this particular GST mismatch at the time of creation of invoice or e-way bill, or if there is no invoice or e-way bill, I'll come to know about this when we are filing GSTR1 or a GSTR3B or something like that. So when at the time of filing, I come across this kind of information mismatch, inconsistency, then I need to do a lot of efforts in terms of reverting that transaction and creating that transaction again, right? So this can be really avoided if all of your clients are using this fetch details using GST and validation on a real-time basis, right? So this will help your practice to get clean data, the data which is in line with the GST in portal, the data which is prevalent on the GST in portal, and this will automatically remove the anomalies in the annual reconciliation as well as on a monthly reconciliation. So this was the GST part wherein the connected GST experience will help all of your clients at the transaction creation level as well as master creation, and this will automatically enhance the accuracy in overall information which is residing inside TallyPrime. So this was about the connected GST experience. Now on the screen, many of you, rather I would say all of you, can view a new option just under the banking. So just under the banking, there is a new option called TallyCapital. So we'll click on this TallyCapital and see what is there inside TallyCapital. So this TallyCapital has three big functionalities for your clients. One is a free credit report. So yes, you can check your own credit report free inside TallyPrime with the help of this. You can also check the eligibility of loan, the loan that is unsecured loan. So currently TallyPrime has a tie-up with the lending partners. So Kotak Mahindra Bank, the Flexi Loans, and the L&T Finance. These three are the lending partners as of now. So based on the information that you have, you can have the eligibility check of limit for which you can get the loan. So let's say I have a new business and I want to apply for an unsecured loan for my working capital requirements. So I can check the eligibility based on two parameters. One is checking eligibility based on the bank statement. To do so, to perform every sort of information on this, a mobile number and OTP is asked, because this is a sensitive financial information that we have. May it be a credit report, may it be any sales figures and anything. So somebody will need to provide an OTP, and then only this operation can be performed. Let's say after checking eligibility, we came to know about that we are eligible for maybe 20 lakh or 40 lakh or 60 lakh rupees. We can also apply for a loan from Tally itself. To start that, one needs to give OTP and provide certain information which is being asked by a Tally. So there are 5 stages of application. One is a basic information. The second one is a business KYC. The third one is a promoter, director, or a partner KYC. And the fourth one is the other business information and the documents that needs to be uploaded inside TallyPrime in the PDF format. And the fifth one is a submitting application, and then the process will go ahead with the lending or a financial institution. So using TallyCapital, you can get 4 big benefits for your clients. You can also advise them on improving credit worthiness. You can also advise them on the upfront loan eligibility basis on the bank statement. So inside TallyPrime, you can simply upload a bank statement in a PDF format for last 1 year, and basis the analysis of that bank statement, TallyPrime can come up with the potential loan eligibility based on the data in the bank statement that you have. So this was with respect to TallyCapital. That's it from my side.
Yeah. Parth, can we take up the queries?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
We can take up the
So
queries.
yeah, so go to the Q&A. I think there are 5 queries as of now.
Yep. Okay, let me take this up one by one. So the first is what in case credit appears in 2B, still we cannot take the same single goods have not been received. How we will reconcile the same? So in this case, you need to delay the ITC in GSTR 2B. It will reflect in first month, but you will receive the goods in the second month. So using set effective date, set GST return effective date for GSTR 2B, you can shift that particular ITC to the next month, and in the next month you can claim that particular ITC, because you cannot claim that ITC before you receive this goods. The second question is, what about the sales bill which we need to amend? How should we do that? So let's view that on the screen. Let me again share my screen. So let's say you can see here Tally screen, right? We are onto the GSTR1. So in GSTR1, we have already filed for the month of April 24 for a particular registration, right? Now this is already filed. Now let's check out how TallyPrime tracks the amendment. We'll click on this. We'll go to any of the bills. We'll select this last bill and change something in this particular bill. Let's say we are changing the rate of this particular stock items. We are making it 500. So the moment we make it 500, the value of this particular bill changes. The moment the value changes, which impacts the GST liability, this goes to uncertain transactions. So when we go inside these uncertain transactions, it says effective date of amendment is not specified. So TallyPrime 5.0 will keep track of all the amendments after you upload a particular bill automatically. Now, as an action, what we need to do? Now there is a change in the value and parameters of this particular bill. We simply need to specify this particular bill, that the amendment for this particular bill should go to which month. So we are yet to file May month GSTR1. So we can select this bill here, click on the set effective date. In GSTR1, we can mention that this amendment will go to May month GSTR1. This amendment will go to the May month GSTR1. Now let's go to the May month GSTR1. Correct. So the moment we are here in the month of May, you can see this table coming up. Why this table coming up? Because one bill pertains to the previous period here in this case, right? So here we can see here this is reflecting in as amended B2B invoices. Only the amendment value will be reflected, right? This is pertaining to April month, but this April month amendment is reflecting in the May month GSTR1. The moment you upload this GSTR1 for the month of May, it will be amended automatically on the GST portal. I hope this will resolve.
Yeah. Next question, if you can see in the Q&A.
Yep. So the next is, if goods are received on a later date, but ITC is available on the portal, how we can reconcile ITC in books? So ma'am, in this case, you need to reconcile ITC using effective date, the same option, because once you use the effective date, basis effective date, it will shift that ITC to the next month, and that way it will reconcile. The next is, and the new features of IMS dashboard. So yes, we are working on this IMS dashboard, and definitely right now it is a voluntary implementation of IMS. So first we'll support the GSTR 2B API changes in next 15 days, and then after a considerable adoption, we'll provide the IMS dashboard in the upcoming months. The next question is how to add additional place of business within the same ledger using fetch GSTIN. So additional places, currently you'll have to do it by going inside this. So let's say I'm creating one ledger. So for that, we'll need to enable the multiple addresses first, right? So in F11, we'll need to enable multiple addresses. We'll mark it as yes. Now let's say we are creating a particular party ledger, correct? And we go ahead here. Let's say we put down any GSTN. So here you can get this information pre-filled. Then again, we need to go to set multiple mailing details. We can mention here as, let's say, a secondary address. We'll go inside. Here also, we have that option of fetch details using GSTN. We can copy and paste the same information, and we can click here as update as per portal. So here that information will come up. But in the case of multiple addresses, this experience will not be as smooth as it is for the one single addresses. But yes, this feedback is taken, and we'll try to improve this experience when there is a multiple addresses involved for a particular ledger basis on the EPS that is available. Right. So here, whenever you create individual address, a secondary address, a primary address, or a third address, or a fourth address, this fetch details using GSTN is already available inside that particular. Right. So here, let's say I have one particular ledger and I have 10 branches. 10 branches have different GSTN number. So I'll use 10 different GSTN number inside the secondary address, third address, or a fourth address to create that particular address and GSTN for that particular branch. Right. I hope this will help.
Yeah. But one more. So usually, TallyCapital, there's a configuration required. Can we show that, because there's a comment that TallyCapital is not active in Tally 5.0. So if we can show the link as to how to configure.
Right. So the process is very simple. We'll go to TallyCapital website. So let's go that TallyCapital website from here itself. So in TallyCapital, we'll click on the About TallyCapital. We'll click on the Visit website. So here the website of TallyCapital is there. On the screen, we have a products. We'll click on the product, and here we can include this add-on specifying certain information like name, email ID, tally serial number. Based on the number which is mentioned, you will get an OTP. Provide this OTP select the partner that you are connected with your Tally related communications, renewals, and other support, and then click on the install add-on. So once you do this process, shut down TallyPrime and open the TallyPrime again and update the license. From where you can update the license, click on the F1, and on the license, you can manage the license. You can update the license from here. Once you update the license from here, you will view the TallyCapital option just under the banking. You can also view the TallyCapital option here as well, just before the help. So at both places, you will be able to view this option once you enable this.
Okay, great. So one last thing is they're asking manual relating to the GST configuration and reconciliation. I think we can give the link of the help page that would be useful, or is there a manual?
Definitely. So the help that is very, very, conclusive and very exhaustive content that is available. Let me go through that. So everyone is able to view my browser screen, right?
Yes, TallyCapital screen, yes.
So whenever you get stuck inside TallyPrime and you have certain questions, then there is one option called help.tallysolutions.com. So whatever was the manual earlier, we have incorporated all the contents digitally on this link, that is help.tallysolutions.com. You can click here, and whatever topic or subject that comes to your mind, you just type it here, GSTR 2B reconciliation. So let's say I'm just typing GSTR 2B. So here we have reconcile GSTR 2B data. I'll click on this. You can see here, first of all, the video is available here mentioning that GSTR 2B. How you can do it? The steps are mentioned in this video. If you want to understand using screenshot and steps, there are steps mentioned here. You can follow those steps and read those instructions, right? So all the options related to GSTR 2B reconciliation is available. The list of categories of particular transaction post reconciliation is also explained here. So you can go through this content in its entirety.
Can we just copy this and put in the chat also, so that
Yes,
then they can just go back and go and
correct. So
explore a
we'll
different topic? Yeah.
copy this, and the same
Yeah,
has been
perfect.
pasted here, and everyone can refer. Not just GSTR to be reconciliation, any topic that comes to your mind, you can simply come to this link, help.tallysolutions.com, and access the relevant content with respect to your question.
Great. So I think we've answered all the queries. And yeah, so thank you, Rupa Jain ma'am. The session was great. And okay, thank you, Richika ji. Thank you, Trisha ma'am. Parth, there is one last. What is error code 0 in TallyPrime? Is there a...
So can we know a bit detail about when this error comes up, error code 0, which operation you are performing, and then this error code is coming up, so that we can understand more why this error code comes up. Can we get more details?
Mr. Actually, there's no name. So if you would want to ask the query directly,
Okay.
you can raise your hand, and
Okay.
I can unmute you if that's what you want.
They have mentioned that while opening a company, they have error code 0 in TallyPrime. So I think is this a behavior when you open all the companies in your TallyPrime, or it is just related to one specific company?
You can unmute yourself and talk directly. I have given you the related to one particular company as reported. But in the chat, he has reverted that it is related to the one particular company.
Okay, so I think that seems a problem with respect to a particular data. We'll need to view that data on the screen why it is happening. If this cannot be resolved, we request you to reach out to a telecare. There is a dedicated data team that assists in handling those data which cannot be opened, and your query will be resolved. This seems to be only a specific problem with just one data, not the common one.
Yeah, for any such queries, you can always write to support@tallysolutions.com as well. So our team gives a solution and check with the expert. So you might give the reference of today's session as well, if that helps. Yeah. So I think we have answered all the queries. There are compliments for you, Parth sir. And this M. Tala, ma'am, you've raised the hand. Do you have a query or anything to say? Okay, maybe not. So I think we can conclude the session. Okay, great. So thanks a lot, Parth. I think this will be very useful, and so many people have requested for the recording. So I'm sure it could be used for the reference. We wish and we hope that this session clarified your doubts on 5.0, and maybe more people can use. And if you like the product and if the features was good, please do talk to your clients and encourage them to use so that it gets easier for them and everybody can comply GST just from Tally itself and not have to outsource anywhere. So that will help your work as well. It will help save time. So thank you so much. Once again, thanks to the EIRC team for sharing this message with the EIRC members, as they could they could see the benefit of this features. So thank you all. I'll now end the session. And for the recording, we will send it to the EIRC team. Maybe they can send you through the email.
Thank you so much.